Sam Basallo, who, if you are into prospects, you know is a pretty highly touted prospect, signed a 8-year, $67 million contract extension with the Baltimore Orioles after playing precisely 4 games. 4 games at the major league level was enough for the Orioles to commit to this guy for the next 8 seasons. Because he's one of the more highly touted prospects. As I said, heading into this season, Baseball America had him ranked 14th. MLB had him ranked 13th. Baseball Prospective had him ranked 11th. So he's somewhere in that low teens number.
I'll play 2 games if they want to pay me half that.
Yeah, right. I'll play no games if you want to give me a third of that.
Yeah.
But it's a contract extension. First of all, I think this kid's going to be really, really good. The power numbers are unquestionable. In 2023, he hit 20 home runs, over 419 at-bats across 3 different platforms. In 2024, 19 home runs and about the same across 2 different platforms, AA and AAA. This past year, 23 home runs in 238 at-bats with the Norfolk Tide in the Independent League. The Orioles call him up, right? So this kid's going to be a good player. I have no doubt about it. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I know what his catching prowess is. Like, is he truly an everyday catcher? Is he going to maybe more be a DH one day? I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend that I do, but I know I've watched this kid enough in terms of clips and things like that. Kid's got pop. It's truly there. He is 6'4", and he's only 184 pounds. He's only 21. I would bet you he puts on a little bit of weight as he gets into the major leagues and grows a little bit into becoming the professional that he is. But Samuel Basallo signed a 8-year, $67 million deal after just 4 games. So there's 2 talking points in this conversation. And the first one I thought was more Philly-centric. The second one is more league-centric. JT Realmuto's contract is up at the end of the year. JT is having an exceptional second half of the season. Been one of the most consistent hitters in baseball, not just for the Phillies, but in baseball since basically the All-Star break. And it's something that we talked about a lot about on Wednesday. It's been really, really good. He also, admittedly, is getting a little bit older. He is going to be 35 years old by the time next season starts. He'll be 35 in March. So the assumption for the Phillies always was, I think they're going to have to re-sign JT, no matter how he was playing poorly, offensively playing poorly at the beginning of the year, still felt like they needed to get him a contract extension. They trade Eduardo Taiit, who was still years away, but that was their biggest catching prospect in quite some time, probably at least since Alfaro, their biggest catching prospect in some time. Trade him away to get Duran, felt even more likely that JT was going to re-sign. JT hit swinging the bat the way that he has, feels even more likely that JT is going to get an extension. What does that extension look like? I don't know. Is it, is it closer to 3 years? Is he going to ask for a 4th because he's playing well? Does he want to play until his 39 season? And does he want to catch until his age 39 season? A lot of questions that still need to be answered. But this contract extension for Basallo maybe puts a little bit of a wrinkle in things. Because just a year and a half ago, I think a lot of us were anointing Adley Rutschman to be the best catcher in baseball, like the future of the position. Offensively, he was swinging a really good bat, had a really, really good rookie season, 20 home runs, 277 average, slugged well over 430. His OPS was above 800. Has been a good defensive catcher throughout his tenure. Even this year, blocks above average, is in the 37th percentile. His framing is good. His pop time's good enough, a 1.94 type of, he's in the 50th percentile or so. But the expectation for Rutschman was going to be as the number 1 overall pick, and consensus number 1 overall pick coming out of Oregon State a couple of years ago. This kid's going to be the future of the position. And now all of a sudden, the Orioles have signed another catcher to a long-term deal. Now, the question is, does that mean maybe they're thinking about moving Rutschman to DH long-term? Will he learn how to play first base long-term? Or is he not in their plans? And it's an interesting conversation because, again, just about a year and a half ago, this kid was going to be the best catcher in baseball by a lot of people's standards, mine included. I thought like 2 years from like in 2023, talking about now, we'd be talking about him as the best catcher in baseball with maybe without any kind of hesitation. But last year was a little bit of a step back offensively. His average dipped about 27 points. OBP fell. Home runs were right about the same, but he had 20 less hits in just 17 less at bats. Scored significantly less runs. His OPS went down 100 points. And I think due in part because of the hand injury that he had. You know, he didn't miss any time with it, but you could tell it affected his swing. And then this year, he's gone again in a step in the wrong direction. His offense is not good again this year. 227 average. The slug's now under 700. He's not barreling up nearly as many balls. He's not hitting nearly as many balls hard. Now, he doesn't swing and miss a ton. He doesn't whiff a lot. He doesn't chase. Strikeout numbers are good. He does walk a good bit. But his numbers, at least average-wise and power-wise specifically, have gone in a really negative trajectory. So, and now, by the way, he's on the IL once again with an oblique injury. So with this contract extension, what does the future look like for Adley Rutschman? And does that mean the Orioles may be willing to make a trade? And what does that mean long-term for the future of the catching position in baseball, when I would imagine a guy like Rutschman, former number 1 overall pick, has had a track record of success in the major leagues? There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be calling the Orioles and saying, what do you want for him? And I still think the Orioles probably will ask for a lot. But the reality is, if you're going to sign another catcher to an 8-year extension, either one of these guys has to move off the position, or you're potentially looking to move Rutschman, which a year and a half ago, again, I would have told you was BS crazy. So I'm curious how this is going to play out. I still think the easiest solution for the Phillies is to extend JT Realmuto. And again, I don't know if that looks like a 3-year deal. I don't know if he wants a 4-year deal. But I have to think that the easiest solution for them is to find terms with JT on an extension. Because again, the future of the catching position is not readily available for this team. But I think it may throw a little bit of a wrinkle into the conversation if Rutschman is actually available. Now, there's been no indication. This just happened over the last 48 hours. But it's just me playing speculation. The Phillies are in need of a long-term catching solution. Adley Rutschman, former number 1 overall pick, is 27 years old. That's about as long-term as you can get major league ready. It'll be interesting to see how this situation unfolds. But I wouldn't be shocked if this offseason, Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies call up the Baltimore Orioles and see what may be readily available.